All right, so let's kick it off on a Whirlwind. In the bottom left-hand position as the green Terran, we have Empire, BeastyQT.
BeastyQT. It's not BeastyQT, it's BeastyQT. He like makes a very big emphasis. He like doesn't want anyone to ever capitalize the Q or the T. It's just BeastyQT. Like that's how it is. It's just.
All right. BeastyQT.
Yeah, like if you look at his TLPD, it's BeastyQT lowercase. Like it's not BeastyQT. I can't emphasize that enough. It's BeastyQT.
You're getting like mad at me, Frodan. I don't like how you're yelling. It's like that Family Guy
Get it right the first time, Andre.
Bert and Ernie. Yeah. And Ernie, you're yelling. Gosh. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce the bottom right-hand corner player. It is, of course, the red Zerg, Azubu Violet. Starting over here.
We just call him Vio. Not
Violet.
I'm just kidding, Andre. We do call him Vio, though, seriously.
I know.
Violet. Friends call him Vio. People call him Violet.
Oh. I call him Violet, then.
No. I call him Violet. Guys, we did an awesome interview with Violet. In fact, we also did an awesome interview with Beasty. These things are available full length, 30, 45, 50 minutes. I know Ben, Mr. Bitter, did like an hour-long interview with MC, which we'll be showing later tonight. Not the full hour, but just a very short few-minute cut from it. Just some of the highlights, because MC answers really cool questions from things like his girlfriend to Gangnam-style dancing to how he's just such a strong presence no matter what tournament he enters. Lots of cool interview questions for MC that's be aired later tonight. We do all this stuff for our subscribers as well. So if you're chatting in our chat channel, you are a subscriber. Go watch the 40-minute interview with Violet, because I did that one. It was a big pleasure. And I just love Violet to death, man. He represents so much more than just a Korean player, but the Korean that bridges the gap between the Asian scene and the foreign scene. I love that.
Yeah, you can do that after today's play day. Of course. Because we have Violet right here, live in the flesh. Well, actually not live, but it's a replay live.
Yeah, these were played very recently.
At least 24 hours.
Right, we will have a live game today, guys. It's Alicia versus the Terran player, Gonzi. That's right. Alicia versus Gonzi. That will be played later tonight live.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about everything right now. Very standard openings from both these players. 15 hatch coming out from Violet. What's interesting to note is Empire BeastyQT is going for a command center first. I think that's a very appropriate build to actually be going on such a big map. He's doing what looks like to be our build, Frodan, where you go 14 CC. And directly after that, you actually pick up one single gas, and you're able to get your factory really quickly. But a small divergence now. He's going the second refinery, which normally says he's going to be going something like Banshees.
Right, and Beasty has been on record to say that mech and bio for a long time was hard to decide between. People it would be literally games where Beasty would go mass bio and he'd lose on like Daybreak, and he'd be like, "See, this is why you can't do bio," and then he would go do mech, and then he'd lose like a mass roach play that would catch him up. It's like, "See, this is why mech is so bad," and he goes back to bio, and he kind of flip-flop. But after MVP kind of introduced his build at Gamescom that everyone was really foaming at the mouth over, with Hellion Thor into tank with Banshee support.
Well said, because that was actually true.
Yeah, like everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is like the best build ever." It's a really sick build, but it does have weaknesses. But Beasty kind of concluded, said, "Yeah, like mech I think is the overall superior option," and Beasty's a very big-time mech player. Like he's been practicing for a long time, especially on the North American servers when he was here for the Razor House. So
yeah. No, definitely mech is awesome, don't get me wrong, but I think on Whirlwind it is a little bit harder to pull off. And Violet, this is going to be where he really shines. Now,
Violet's expanded to the bottom center.
Yeah, he doesn't really know where his opponent is. I don't know why you would actually take this expansion over this one after scouting the top right-hand corner. Actually, just to let you guys know, Zergs will scout to the top right-hand corner because normally they want to take this expansion just because it's a lot tighter towards your base, not this one, because it's obviously more prone to being attacked by over here. So if you want to actually expand over here, which is slightly longer actually to get across to, you want to actually send your first Overlord this way. And he didn't do that, which is really, really unfortunate. Because of that, I think he's going to pay. Pay dearly.
With his life. Well, maybe not that grave, but maybe. We'll see. Violet's one of those players that is not afraid at any time to punish his opponent and completely switch from, yeah, maybe I was droning, but I think I'm just going to kill you now. And that was for a long time a biggest complaint about Violet, even back when he was playing online cups like Zotac, the Go for StarCraft 2 and the Playhem Cups. Violet was a huge 2-baser for a long time and would just go like Roach Bane all in or like Roach Sling and just do these kinds of things to get ahead. And maybe it wasn't all in and he'd be like droning behind it, but it was a very big punishing move that a lot of people weren't used to because everyone was starting to go 3-hatch.
Yeah.
But now Violet's kind of stabilized in his play. I would say he's one of the most reliable Zerg players. Beastie does catch one of these queens out of position though, and Violet's like, well, oh man, like the fact that he's
no, he's money transfuse right there.
But the fact that I think he was really banking on his opponent to be in the top left, but now that he's in the bottom left, he's like, well, this is kind of awkward.
That being said, we can see Bio coming out from BeastyQT. He's actually gone for 1 barracks and then factory, no starport at all. He actually duped both of us.
That's crazy.
And he went double engineering bay directly after that. Now what he'll have is a really, really powerful 1-1 and 2-2 timing.
Oh, you might have a very powerful Hellion run by as well, Andre. Violet getting a little bit careless at this point. Oh, a huge attack. Man, and there's still 5 Hellions. There's still, okay, well, there's still 3 Hellions. Oh, there's still 2 Hellions. Well, okay, there's only 1 Hellion.
There's still 1 Hellion. But he's still doing an immaculate job.
No, he killed 18
drones. That is pretty good. And on top of that, I mean, a lot of times you keep those Hellions alive to actually make sure that you continuously are able to limit the creep, and especially when you're going bio, you need to limit that creep as much as possible. Oh no, BeastyQT actually mismanaged a little bit. You can see the armory needs to go up before 2-2 is actually ready, or at least he can actually start upgrading 2-2, which is a real big shame because he wants to be getting 2-2 ASAP. Otherwise, there's no point in actually getting such a fast 1-1. He could have delayed this by 65 seconds now. But
65 seconds, wow,
that's how long the armory takes to come up.
BC also has a huge amount of SCV count compared to his opponents, 63 to 56, and that's after Violet was re-droning from the initial attacks. Beastie moving out to closer to his opponent. Wow, look at how close both of these expansions are. This is like late game steps of war. And Violet gets to his opponent's third base just as quick as he's gotten there. And Beastie's like, man, I just convinced all these SCVs to relocate their jobs and their homes, sending a pack of Marines and Marauders, but there's so many Roaches here. So.
A lot of Roaches. Not yet does he have Gleaver Constitution, but you can see the upgrade actually matters quite a bit. +1 armor is so helpful. Medivacs will get into the fray here, and it looks like these Roaches will be able to be taken out. For the most part, you can see BeastyQT doesn't really take that much losses from this. I mean, he cleans up all those Roaches, which is so helpful. And now from here, where does Violet go? Well, we can see he is still just droning up from here on out. He's getting his pathogen glands, getting Zergling speed, or not Zergling speed, Zerglings, just straight up Zerglings out in the field. But for the most part, I would say he is slightly behind still, just because of that Hellion run by, of course.
Right. And 2-2 started off for Beastie, but because he's delayed it so much, he's not going to get ahead of the curve of Violet. Violet also having 2-2 on the way while getting pathogen glands out. So initial Roaches to stay safe and transitioning back to the Ancestral Lane. And I think Violet, when he sees that much bio, he can take advantage, like getting this tank out of position. Ooh, good save by Beastie, though. Very nice save.
Yeah, well done. Obviously picking it up, making sure it can't take any more damage. And because of that, it's just like empty damage done to the siege tank because it easily can be repaired. From here on out, though, where does Violet actually go from here? That's the most challenging thing. I mean, he's in a position where he's constantly being threatened. You can see the push distance from here to here. It's literally like a stone's throw. I'm pretty sure a siege tank can attack from here to not the rocks, but like right around here.
Violet's going to be able to creep his way up into Beastie's base.
If BeastyQT had Tempests right now, he would be able to fire from his third to the main of Violet. So, actually not
no,
recent.
they nerfed Tempest range, man.
I was just trolling on that.
Nah.
Sorry.
Okay. But definitely the old range you get from Beastie's third to Violet's third, no problem. Viking picked off, making sure that Violet's base safe. This is so interesting that Violet is just... They're so much closer than they're ever used to. This is like as if they're playing old school StarCraft 2 maps, except they're using new styles. Beastie very much playing heavy macro. He's got an insane amount of production. 2-2 is about to finish, trying to line up a 2-2 timing. But Violet's also going to try to set up a very nice flank. A scan from Beasty does reveal the Infestors. And I guess Beasty's really going to push in, but he has to be very cautious with the incoming attack, Andre.
It's not going to go over well for Violet. You can see he's going to clean up everything on bottom, but really he has to disengage from this, and he takes a lot of shots from those siege tanks. The siege tanks obviously in an immaculate position, tucked away behind those behind those supply depots, behind this high ground, so it really helps out. I think what Violet has to do is just get rid of this base. Don't even worry about it. Say it's expendable. Soon as BeastyQT actually starts approaching up into this position, just say, there's no way I can actually stop this. It's going to just require one more leapfrog from these siege tanks, and that's going to be it. Although Violet's going to try to hold on as long as possible. Obviously, the gas really helps out, but here we have another harassment going into the main over here. Picks off a single queen.
It's just annoying. BC has plenty of where that came from. He's pushing the third at the same time. Great multi-prong aggression, multitasking. Violet, what are you going to do, man? He did leave a pack of Zerglings back in the main to deal with the drop, but he also has to deal with this very well spread tank army from Beasty. And this is looking very hard. I think Violet may have to give up the base.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And there he goes. He's going to give it up a little bit too slow, killing a lot of drones from BeastyQT. Which obviously is really good. But BeastyQT takes this for what it's worth. He says, okay, it's an expansion, still very good. Kills a couple of Overlords as well. But I like the fact that Violet wasn't trying to continuously fight over this position and say, I need to keep this at all costs. He suicides in and just says GG because it's an impossible situation to actually win that fight continuously. That being said, Violet, you know, he needs to regroup and all. He has 7 ultras on the way. That's definitely going to have, but chitinous armor is just about 1.5 minutes away. That is a long time, Frodan. And he can obviously be prone. Oh no, these 3 ultras pop out the worst place possible. But maybe not.
Well, maybe they bought just enough time for the Zerg to get in if the Infestors could make something happen as well. No, Violet just calls GG, realizing a huge fault in the foundation of his build was expanding to that third base, not setting up a strong economy. Beasty takes game number 1 against one of the best Zergs in the world.
Yeah, not only taking that third base, obviously you're going to lose it sometime or another, but also keep in mind he lost all those drones in the early game stage. When you lose 18 drones in that beginning, and you're so far behind another Terran, and they're being super greedy behind that, they're getting, of course, their upgrades, but more stuff like their expansion and the good like army composition, then really it's so difficult to actually come back from. BeastyQT did it right, and he is right now 1-0 against Violet.
Game number 1 was brought to you by Cooler Master. Visit them at Cooler Master USA to pick up your own peripheral, whether it's mice or keyboard. We'll be back after a quick commercial. Don't go anywhere. Beasty versus Violet, game number 2 is coming up right after this.